Now on Nightside, a public safety tax in Spokane Valley is on track to pass in Spokane's primary election. The impact this tax will have on our community.
I'm tracking showers and thunderstorms tonight and more on the way for Thursday in your first alert forecast.
And a 6-year-old child is in the hospital after being hit by an alleged DUI driver. The details that were revealed in the court hearing. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, here's a look outside from our station in downtown Spokane. It may not be raining right now, but we've been getting showers on and off throughout the evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Cronker. We are tracking some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Go straight to the radar. We're zoomed in around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, where right now we're just seeing a few sprinkles, mainly from north of downtown up through the 5-mile prairie toward the North Division Y. But I am looking upstream at some areas of development that have just popped up in the last little bit, right around the Fish Trap area, some areas of heavy rain, other spots in the Columbia Basin that are headed to the east. So we may still hear some rumbles of thunder yet tonight. Meanwhile, raining presently in Sandpoint up toward Bonner's Ferry. A lot of this wet weather has moved to the east now, heading toward western Montana. Here's a broader view. Few sprinkles down on the Palouse, particularly the Idaho Palouse. But again, there's more wet weather coming. Here's our forecast radar starting off at our current time. And we start to see some additional showers as we go through the overnight. Here's 4 a.m. with some thunderstorms down on the Palouse. 7 a.m. more wet weather through the central panhandle with the potential for thunderstorms. And through noon, we start to see thunderstorms developing in the northeast mountains that may circulate into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area later in the afternoon. So throughout the day, we cannot rule out the possibility of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. The best chance will be tomorrow morning and again in the late afternoon. A high tomorrow of 73 degrees, 87 is our average high. We'll take a closer look at our odds of thunderstorms tomorrow and have your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. A technology issue at United Airlines that caused some delays and even some cancellations around the nation has been resolved, according to the airline. At Spokane International Airport, one United flight to Denver was delayed and another one also going to Denver was canceled. United released a statement on the issue reading, "We are working with customers to get them to their destinations after a technology disruption on Wednesday evening. The underlying technology issue has been resolved, and while we expect residual delays, our team is working to restore our normal operations." All right, we are tracking a wildfire that's created level 1 evacuations for the area of Electric City and Delano Heights, according to the Grant County Sheriff's Office. You can see the affected areas on this map here on your screen. As a reminder, level 1 means get ready. So if you live in Electric City or Delano Heights, take some time to get your things organized in case you need to evacuate. Another round of votes were counted in Spokane County's primary election today. There are almost 15,000 votes left to count, but we have a pretty good idea about which measures are on track to pass. With 74% of voters saying yes, the Aquifer Protection Area measure is passing overwhelmingly. This will expand the boundaries of the Spokane Valley Rathdrum Prairie Aquifer. The EMS levy for Fire District 8 is also passing, with nearly 62% of voters saying yes. This levy will generate funding to add 2 paramedics to the district. It'll also replace aging emergency equipment. And voters are showing strong support for Spokane Valley's public safety tax proposal, with almost 60% voting in favor of it. Proposition 1 would add a new sales tax of 0.1%. The city says this would equate to about $12 additional a year for the average shopper. The tax is expected to generate $2.6 million in funds that Spokane Valley Police plan to use to hire 10 new officers. This will address what they describe as years of staffing shortages as the community they serve continues to grow.
Our officers frequently are talking about how they're running from call to call to call, and there's a significant amount of calls holding and waiting for them, just not enough officers to be able to handle it. And so we're excited about this opportunity.
The department says these new officers will not be assigned to a specific neighborhood, but rather the city as a whole. One of their focuses will be having an increased presence at local high schools. So every high school in Spokane Valley has full-time resource officers. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown signed an ordinance today that would allow for the construction of more complete streets across the city.
So what is a complete street? It's a roadway designed to safely accommodate everyone who uses it. Again, pedestrians, bicyclists, drivers, public transit riders, regardless of age or ability.
For example, on Lincoln Street in downtown Spokane, construction is already underway to add protected bike lanes, widen sidewalks, and additional signal lights from Summit Parkway to Cinto. The mayor says this is just the latest step to make our community safer. Cougar football fans will be excited to know they may soon be able to buy wine and beer during games without leaving the stadium. We spoke with Washington's Liquor and Cannabis Board, who confirmed that WSU submitted a request for a one-year pilot program that would allow for beer and wine sales in general seating during football games this fall. LCB says the licensing and enforcement departments have received that request and are preparing a recommendation for the board. These sales would not include the student section, though.
Which I think is a funny thing to add right there about the student section. It's a good note that I think is important.
Right.
Yeah, and moving from the stands over to the field, the WSU Cougs are halfway through week 2 of their 3-week fall camp, and this halfway point offers some solid perspective to the team's progress, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Washington State football's identity taking a major shift this season under new head coach Jimmy Rogers, especially on that defensive side. The unit rode a roller coaster of highs and lows last year and now seeks more consistency with a bit of a revamped system. Redshirt freshman Gage Jones started his Coug career last year as a strong safety, but now switches roles to linebacker. And he spoke today on how positive all these defensive changes have been to him.
Yeah, so I love that we're able to fit on the run. I love that we have an extra guy that can come in and just sit in the box and be able to hit people. I'd say the transition from playing a different defense to the one we are now, this defense is a lot more free. They teach us to be in positions and allow us to make plays, which allows us to not play super tense, you know, and it helps us to be able to just make a decision, play off our other teammate, right, and be able to make plays.
The Cougs resume fall practice the rest of this week, and then next before wrapping it all up next Friday. We'll be back in main sports, talk about how Idaho's first full days of pads and first scrimmage went. Plus, you won't want to miss another big Mariners offensive outing. They had a lot of fun tonight. Derek, back to you.
All right, Jack, thank you so much. A 6-year-old boy is in the hospital tonight after being hit by an alleged drunk driver. The sheriff's office says 69-year-old John Lassie was arrested last night after hitting that child, swerving through people's front yards, hitting a car, and driving into a house. Court documents show his blood alcohol content was a .12 and that he has 3 prior DUIs.
He believes that Mr. Lassie poses an extreme danger to the community and clearly doesn't follow court orders, noting a history of a violation of a no-contact order and DWOS convictions as well.
The 6-year-old boy was taken to the hospital with a broken femur and a serious cut to the face. The sheriff's office says his injuries are no longer life-threatening, though. In Fort Stewart, Georgia, 5 soldiers were injured in a shooting today, but all of them are expected to survive, and the suspect is now in custody. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez is in Fort Stewart with the latest.
Soldiers at Fort Stewart Army Base in Georgia were sent running for cover today after an active shooter opened fire. The base about an hour away from Savannah, Georgia. Army officials say 28-year-old Sergeant Cornelius Radford used his non-military personal handgun at his logistics job, wounding 5 fellow soldiers. The base was put quickly on lockdown as his co-workers were rushed to the hospital. 3 soldiers needed surgery, but officials say all 5 are in stable condition and will recover. Army officials saying the suspect's brave co-worker stopped him.
I know that his soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
With the FBI assisting in the investigation, officials are still trying to determine a motive, saying the suspect has no disciplinary record with the military. Meanwhile, President Trump saying the shooter will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
The entire nation is praying for the victims and their families.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, next on Nightside, a local food program that helps feed kids in Spokane needs your help. And a Spokane food bank runs out of supplies and shuts down today. What this means for the families who depend on it.
It is Wildlife Wednesday, and a preview from our friend Mark Vogt, a gorgeous white-tailed buck made even more beautiful by that early morning light on the velvet antlers there. Beautiful shot from Mark. I'll be back with more, plus an update on thunderstorms after the break.
Tonight, it's Jelly Kimmel Live. Kevin, I'm not going to lie, Bubba, we're pretty good friends, but I didn't know you could play.
Oh, I don't. The shirt I had on was a little tight, and I just wanted to wear it as an accessory. So.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. 4 News Now is brought to you by Wendell Motors.
I hope for people that choose to watch my forecast on Good Morning Northwest is as you're making your plans for the day, you know what's coming up for your day and how to plan it, and that you have a little bit of fun on the way.
Plan your day with Matt Gray, only on Good Morning Northwest.
The 2025 Ford Bronco is everywhere, and for good reason. It's built for anything, loaded with capability, and will go anywhere you take it. Snow, mud, dirt, whatever the road throws at you. This goat gives you seven different terrain modes to handle it all. And the Bronco just won an award for Best in Class for initial quality. When buying your next SUV, think Wendell Ford. We would be honored to show you the new Bronco. Wendell Ford, drive for generations.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social. We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
Everybody, I'm out of here.
Kimmel's out.
Hey, if you need me on set, I'm available.
And your favorite guest hosts are in.
This is a big deal.
All summer long.
So let's party.
Jimmy Kimmel Live with summer guest hosts. Weeknights on ABC.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome back. Hundreds of food insecure kids could be without food on the weekends because of a lack of funding for Second Harvest. Second Harvest says it's getting fewer donations for its Bite to Go program this year. It gives bags of food to over 12,000 kids each weekend during the school year. But it says around 300 fewer kids will be able to get food through the program now.
That's a lot of kids who are reliant on the generosity of the community. And unfortunately, the need is going up. So families are facing higher food costs, and the need continues to go up.
Second Harvest hopes other organizations like local businesses or churches will step up to fill the funding the program needs. All right, Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joining us here once again. We've been talking a lot about storms throughout the area tonight.
Yes, we've had some thunderstorms already. There are more to come, and I will get to that in just a moment, but we're going to take a quick Wildlife Wednesday break first. Check in with some osprey. Dora Z. Davis shared this photo. There is a couple fledglings in the nest there watching the parent osprey show how it's done. Flying over. Actually, they're probably not learning how to fly. They're probably looking in the talons to see if that parent has brought anything to eat. But a great photo from Dora. Robert Brazington shared this photo of a cow and calf moose and their reflections. I love that. That is so pretty. Thank you, Robert. Beautiful shot. And from our friend Ron Burdick, a calliope hummingbird, beautifully framed by the flowers in the garden. almost I don't want to say it's time for them to start heading back, but they know before we do when it's going to get cool. We do have some additional convective development here just since we last spoke. Here's Spokane. We're seeing some showers down around the Cheney area, also further down I-90 closer to Sprague, out in the Columbia Basin around Harrington. We're also seeing some showers, and they are moving to the east, but we're also seeing additional development there. Here's our radar over the past several hours, and after some strong thunderstorms this evening over parts of the Waterville Plateau and Lincoln County. We haven't seen any cloud-to-ground lightning in the last few hours, but we do have a few spots that look like they may be developing as we get into the overnight. 4 things to know about your weather. We do have the potential for some thunderstorms tonight. More on the way for Thursday. Highs will be in the 70s Thursday, more than 10, close to 15 degrees below average, but warm, sunny summer weather moves back in for the weekend. Here's a broader view on what's going on with this line of storms. There is a break behind it, but it won't last very long as the next system moves in. So if we take your forecast hour by hour on Thursday, there is a chance of showers and a slight chance of thunderstorms throughout the morning. We'll be in the 50s through 8 o'clock. It'll be a cool start to the day. Finally in the 70s by 1 o'clock, keeping that chance of showers and possible thunderstorms going. But it increases as we get into the late afternoon before tapering off tomorrow evening. Again, that high of 73, about 15 degrees below average. Some beneficial rains possible with this system. It'll be a little hit and miss because of the nature of that thunderstorm activity, but we'll expect some of the higher totals up in the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho. Hopefully up to a 1/4 inch in Coeur d'Alene and St. Mary's, with heavier totals through the central panhandle and lesser amounts on the Palouse and into the Columbia Basin. Meanwhile, around the rest of the region, temperatures primarily in the 70s, just a couple spots getting into the 80s right around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 71 in Spirit Lake, but we'll be up into the mid-70s in Meade, Spokane Valley, downtown Spokane, 9 Mile and Deer Park. Once this area of low pressure moves through tomorrow, by Friday, it is going to start tracking to the north and east, bringing a chance of wraparound showers for the Idaho Panhandle and perhaps the Northeast Mountains, but otherwise high pressure begins building in, and that is what's going to send our temperatures back into the 80s and 90-degree range for the weekend and even warmer next week. And we will be dry through the rest of the 7-day forecast. We only have, oh gosh, less than 24 hours left of this unsettled weather, Derek.
All right, and then, yeah, warming right back up next week. Chris, thank you. The food bank at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center had to close its doors today after running out of food. Only rice and beans remain on the shelves at the East Central Spokane location. The food bank serves one of the city's most vulnerable communities 3 days a week. The closure cuts off access to food for hundreds of people who depend on the center.
When you really have nothing to give to this community who's dealing with food insecurity is a problem.
And the center needs donations of canned goods and other shelf-stable items, along with proteins and produce. The food bank hopes to reopen this Friday. Information on how to help is available inside this story on our website at KXLY.com. All right, you're looking at a group of volunteers who spent their morning cleaning up trash along the Spokane River for the annual Red Band Rally River Cleanup organized by the Spokane Indians and other local partners. It isn't just about tidying up, though. It's about showing up for one of the most iconic parts of Spokane.
We always want to do our part to help clean it. And it doesn't matter if it's environmental. It doesn't matter if it's recreation. It doesn't matter if it's homeless. It doesn't matter what it is. There's trash along the banks of the river, and we want to help our part to keep it clean.
And today's effort made a visible difference, and organizers hope it inspires more people to keep that momentum going. Well, Providence will be hosting its last free Make a Splash pool party tomorrow. It's being held at Spokane's Liberty Aquatic Center. There will be snacks available and other family-friendly entertainment. That event runs from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. It's being called one of the biggest sports memorabilia heists in history. The details next on Nightside.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
At Fred Meyer, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Fred Meyer shoppers never compromise. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
I'm writing a list of the best reasons to call the advocates.
You get a team dedicated for your case.
Right.
We'll fight hard to get you the very best result.
Also good.
Well, let's see your list.
I think I captured it.
Great list.
Bill's Heating and AC has not one, not two, but 3 warehouses overstocked with top quality air conditioners. To clear out inventory before the end of the year, we're doing something we've never done before. Advertising our guaranteed lowest pricing for all to see. Right now, you can get a full heating and cooling system installed for only $6,500 to $8,500, depending on capacity. Call now before this amazing deal goes away. Call 208-777-5528.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle. And that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
When you bring your case to the advocates, you pay no fee unless we win.
No unanswered questions.
No regrets.
No sweet-talking insurance adjusters.
Just the assurance that we'll fight hard for your win.
And no fee until that happens.
Exactly.
At Fred Meyer, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Fred Meyer shoppers never compromise. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
All right, welcome back to Nightside. Let's take a look at our top trending stories in the 4 News Now story tracker. Coming in at number 3 tonight, the Spokane River was dyed red yesterday for an environmental test. Water specialists will use the dye to study how treated wastewater mixes with river water and interacts with the Spokane Valley Rathdrum Prairie aquifer. Number 2, a midair collision between 2 skydivers in Montana resulted in 1 person dying Monday. That incident happened at the 58th annual Lost Prairie Boogie. And number 1, more documents in the Brian Koberger case were released on Monday by the city of Pullman. Among them are details on Operation Turtle Shell, which outlined the plan for transporting Koberger from Pennsylvania, where he was arrested, back to Moscow. You can find those stories and all the latest local news on KXLY.com. Well, it's being called the biggest sports memorabilia heist in history. A retired Miami police officer is now facing federal charges after stealing hundreds of items from the Miami Heat. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the story.
Snatched and sold.
One of the largest, if not the largest, memorabilia heists in the history of this country.
A retired Miami police officer has been arrested and now faces federal charges after authorities say he stole and sold millions of dollars worth of official Miami Heat memorabilia believed to be the largest sports theft ever. Investigators say 62-year-old Marcos Tomas Perez, a 25-year Miami PD veteran, worked as a security officer for the Heat from 2016 to 2021 and used his arena security clearance to access an equipment room in the Kaseya Center to steal more than 400 game-worn jerseys intended for a future team museum.
This person was taking them and selling them.
NBA insider Amin El Hassan first reported the story on the Dan Le Batard show last month. He says it was the sports memorabilia community that alerted the feds.
The sale of ill-gotten memorabilia. What red flagged within the memorabilia community is you never see people with this much stuff.
Among the items boosted, an NBA Finals jersey worn by LeBron James, which Perez sold for around $100,000. It was later auctioned for $3.7 million. Earlier this year, feds raided Perez's home and say they found hundreds more stolen team goods. No comment yet from the Miami Heat or from Perez, who faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Well, the NFL is now banning teams from supplying smelling salts and ammonia to their players on game days. These substances are typically used as stimulants. The ban came to teams in a memo and points to a 2024 study from the FDA that warns these inhalants have not been proven safe and could mask the symptoms of concussions. However, the ban does not prevent players from using these substances on game days. It just means that the teams can no longer supply the smelling salts to their players. I bet it still finds their way to the sidelines with some of those players wanting to have them.
Yeah, we did not allow that in my middle school football days.
No, definitely not. All right, Idaho had a whale of a fall camp today, adding both full pads and a full-speed scrimmage.
Coach Tom Ford has his guys sprinting and prepping, all for that game one coming up against the Cougs. See how the team feels coming off their switch to new gear for this practice.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Hospitals.
Please, stop right there. Turn around. Stop. Hey.
Everybody was scared that you were showing up till right now. Something was wrong and bodies were being found all over the place.
We may have a serial killer on our hands. Friday night, 2020 takes you inside a killing spree.
It's a real-life thriller playing out on police cams.
It was shocking.
Mind-boggling. Help me.
The one that got out.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
David Muir, Deborah Roberts, 2020, Friday night on ABC.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on drinks whenever you hit the afternoon slump.
We've got your pick-me-up covered because medium drinks are now $2.29. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Well done, Viv. You got the presents, the balloons, and the Raptor cake. Now, how about something to put a smile on your face? Aspen Dental provides complete affordable care with dentists and labs in one place. Plus free exams and x-rays for new patients without insurance. And 25% off treatment plans for everyone. Quality care at a price worth celebrating. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on breakfast, which comes in handy when you've got the whole family in town.
Make someone's morning with buy one, add one for $1 on breakfast classics. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Fall camp continues for our local college teams all around the inland Northwest. Idaho Vandals stepping it up today in their first scrimmage of fall camp. Idaho's O-line stood out in the first practice with these full pads, and not just for their effort, but also for their mindset. And Sydney Berger brings us inside the beautiful Kibbe Dome about how this offensive line has a little bit of extra fire underneath them heading into this upcoming season.
Nate Azzopardi is one of the veteran leaders on the Vandals offensive line, and he says this group has been making significant strides so far in fall camp. But that drive and purpose is coming from the fact they don't want to be blamed anymore for the reason the Vandals fall short.
We're tired of being the excuse people fall on when they talk about why the Vandals have come up short the last few years. So this room is hungry and we're excited.
That group is definitely coming to work every day with that mentality of they never want to be looked at as a weak link. They want to be looked at as a strength.
The first fall practice with full pads was also the first fall scrimmage for the Vandals. A jam-packed practice showed not only a small taste of what the O-line is capable of, but the entire team. And it was everything Coach Thomas Ford was expecting.
They come out ready to go. And I just think it's because they understand we're in a position that we have a chance. Not every FCS school has a chance to be a playoff caliber team.
Coach Ford is inheriting an Idaho team that has made the playoffs for 3 straight seasons. In his first year as the head man, he's determined to take them to a 4th. But every coach coach and player will tell you they're still taking it one day and one game at a time. The first one on the Vandals' schedule is against the Washington State Cougs. Kickoff for the season opener is on August 30th in Pullman. Reporting in Moscow, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
Thanks for the report, Sydney. And the West Coast Conference picking former Gonzaga Bulldogs legend Yvonne Ejim representing the conference for the NCAA Woman of the Year vote. Now, this award honoring the graduating female students who excel in academics, athletics, leadership, service, all that good stuff. And the Alberta native was two-time WCC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, leading the league in points and rebounds and topping the Gonzaga all-time scoring and boards list.
Oh, boy. That one's going a long way.
White Sox broadcasters not liking that one. 450 feet long. That's how big that Josh Naylor home run was. Seattle smashing in 2 runs, taking that early first inning lead. 2-1. M still up in the second. Bases loaded. And how about the clutch from Cal Raleigh? He's hitless last night, but delivering today, bringing 2 home. It's a 4-1 game. But this second inning ain't over yet. Julio Rodriguez next up and happily clears those bases out with a blast to left. 7 runs in just the first pair of innings. But it gets pretty close in the top of the 9th. 2-run difference with just as many men on base, but an early ground out easily will then calm those nerves down. Seattle holds on and wins the game 8-6, and they'll get the series win, too, for the week. Spokane Indians, though, could not compete as well tonight against the Eugene Emeralds, who is the top team in the Northwest League the second half, clobbering Spokane 7-2. The traded Yankees prospect Josh Gross continues to not do too hot off the bat. He's 0-2 now, tossed 5 hits, 5 runs allowed in his 5 innings pitch. And Derek, guess how many strikeouts? Yeah, 5. Not too shabby, too. Spokane heads to a must-win Game 3 to try and rally a series win if they can get it. That's just after 6:30 tomorrow. So yet again, a pretty mixed bag for the Indians and Mariners. Spokane only 2 home series left as they have 0 September home games. So kind of crazy. We're already right almost to the end of the Indian season.
That's kind of wild to think about. All right.
Yeah.
Jack, thank you. We'll be right back.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Warner Music Nashville's multi-platinum star Gabby Barrett continues to be an unstoppable force in country music and will be live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino on Thursday, August 14th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Let's do it.
August 28th through September 1st, the 44th annual Pig Out in the Park returns to beautiful Riverfront Park. Free admission, 65 food booths, 300 menu items, 4 adult beverage gardens, and 88 free concerts on 4 stages. Headliners include Too Slim, Sammy Eubanks, Tone Loc, the Blues Beatles from Brazil, Atomic Punk's Van Halen tribute, and BC/DC's AC/DC tribute. For a complete list of food booths and bands, go to pigoutinthepark.com. August 28th through September 1st, attend the 44th annual Pig Out in the Park.
Summer's almost over.
But there's lots of end-of-summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Go long! Yes! Time right! Manny drops back and he flips one right down the middle. Well done. No, this one's burning.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? A 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. That's the value you can expect from Toyota.
Come in today.
Great job, rookie.
Toyota, let's go places.
One call, that's all, means we take care of everything after your car wreck.
From dealing with insurance companies to helping you find doctors and repair shops, we're here to guide you from start to finish.
After my car accident, working with Craig Swap and Associates made the whole process so easy. They communicated with me and let me know what the next step was every step of the way.
Call Craig Swap and Associates today. Let us make your recovery simple. One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
We are watching some showers and possible thunderstorms developing in portions of southern Spokane County, down around Cheney, the Medical Lake area, and also into Spokane Valley. No rumbles of thunder right now, but that is still a potential through the overnight. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no doubt. And what's the when thunder roars?
Go
indoors.
Indoors.
There you go.
Yes.
I should probably know that by
Stay
now.
indoors.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And Jack, again, you talked about mixed bag, but the Mariners keep on winning. Now just a couple games behind the Astros, right?
They're not in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
Kind of like it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.